Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Sure. My name is Sasha Pieterse. I have been an actress for over 24 years now, I guess going on 25. I'm also an author. I am a podcast host. I am a wife and a mom. And most recently, I am the CEO of a new beverage brand called HIPPIE WATER, which is a low-dose cannabis-infused social tonic. I am located in LA right now, but I bounce all over the place. I have a knack for kind of moving every year, but we love it. We have a lot of fun.
So what made you want to start this beverage brand?
So it's myself, my husband, who is our CMO, and two of our friends. Our CPO is Taylor Sewell, and her husband, Alex Sewell. They are our partners, but what makes them really special is that Taylor is our food scientist. So she actually made our product. Alex has been in startups and scaling for over 10 years. And so I think for us, we always wanted to start a business together. We always kind of, we're close friends. We always threw those funny things around and nothing really stuck. It was more of a joke. But when HIPPIE WATER became an idea, that seemed actually feasible, mainly because we all have really specific strengths. And in this case, we could utilize them to really build a badass product and a really cool company. And so we kind of just leapt into it. We just kind of took a leap of faith, broke the first rule, which is don't get into business with friends and family. And we decided to take this chance. But it seemed like one of those things where it was a reasonable risk because of the expertise that we have in our fields. And it has been one really, really exciting ride. We are about to launch. It's, I know I'm biased, but it is a really, really great tasting product. It is high quality. It's 5 milligrams THC, 15% juice. All of them are under 30 calories. We really care about quality. Our juice compound comes from Italy. It's like nothing you've ever tasted before. They're really light. They're not like that really, in your face, sugary drink. And there's no, we call it dank free. There's no dank in our drink, which is really important to us as well. But we really, really care about this company. It is a passion project through and through. But we want you to know the name HIPPIE WATER, and we want it to be part of your life. I think for us, our biggest quest is education in the space, and also just to offer you more than just a product. We don't want to just shove a product down your throat. We really consider ourselves a media company, and we'll really be building on that. A lot of people don't even know that you can drink cannabis, and so we have a lot of work to do. But it's the best kind of challenge. So you'll be seeing lots from us, lots of docuseries, lots of talk show format, long content, short form content, all of the above.
For sure. So when it comes to education, who would you say, I know it's early, obviously, that you're about to launch, but in your mind, who is an ideal customer for your product?
So we're kind of targeting more mainstream, which a lot of cannabis has kind of stayed away from. It's obviously much easier to target your everyday user. But we really want to make people realize that it's not scary and it's something that really can fit into anybody's lifestyle. I would consider myself kind of curious, and I actually really pride myself on the fact, or ourselves on the fact, that each of us have a different relationship with cannabis. I grew up with those, sign the dare, don't do drugs. Everything is, scary and in that category. Whereas Taylor is a good example. She uses cannabis for lots of different things, from anxiety to different health issues to just overall just social well-being. She loves, feeling that she gets. She feels way more social with it when she's out and about, and she is an everyday user. And I think all four of us have a different way of experiencing it. And I think that's really valuable for our company because of that. We want to make sure that it's something that there's no stigma with, where you can order it at a bar like you would a beer or a glass of wine or a cocktail and not feel like you're out of place or not feel like you're being left out. Alex hasn't been drinking alcohol for over 3 years. And instead, he goes to cannabis and it has totally changed his life. So we really want it to be for the adventurer, for the parent, for, entrepreneur getting up really early for work. It's giving you the ability to socialize without the compromise. There's no hangover. There's no, like lingering after effect that really just kind of kills the rest of your day or your next day or your week. We really want this to be something that people can utilize to have the best of both worlds.
For sure. So what is your go-to-market strategy? Like, are you targeting, food service, like you mentioned, like, somebody could order it like in a bar, or more direct to consumer dispensaries? What does that look like for you?
So a little THC. And so a lot of people don't know the difference. There is a loophole in the States right now. It's the 2018 Farm Bill, and it allows us to utilize the THC that comes from the hemp plant versus the marijuana plant, which is, I love it because it's a great loophole, but it's a little silly. Molecularly, they're exactly the same. It's the exact same type of THC. It's just essentially coming from a sister plant. So marijuana is a plant, hemp is a plant. Marijuana produces more THC than CBD, whereas hemp produces more CBD than THC. And so ultimately, we're just using those leftovers from the hemp plant. And that allows us to ship to over 46 states, which is massive. Our initial D2C, or our initial go-to-market is D2C. We're going to be selling direct to consumer, but something that's really exciting. We will be at the new Bon Jovi bar for their grand opening on the 30th. And so distribution, we'll be working on slowly but surely, but D2C is our first go-to, mainly just because I am really blessed to have a lot of followers. I have a really amazing, incredible, dedicated audience of over 20 million people. And what's awesome about that is, it's our leg up in so many ways, where we get to see who's buying the product, who's interested in it, where they are, where they're located, how we can best service them. And we can collect all that data before we spend money in the wrong places. And we're really looking forward to the opportunity to kind of hone in on those areas. We'll, of course, be doing pop-ups and utilizing social media marketing and all that fun stuff. But with the cannabis product, we also have a couple of challenges where we have to be careful with the way that we advertise. So even though we have that loophole with hemp, not everybody is on board with it when it comes to marketing. So we have to be really clever with our wording, what we can and cannot say, what we can and cannot do. We are very, very open with the fact that we are 21 and over to minors, but it's interesting. It's a difficult thing to navigate. And my husband, who is our Chief Marketing Officer, he has been, in marketing and social media marketing for over 10 years, but never in cannabis. And so it's such an interesting learning curve. It's exciting though. It's one of those things where it's never a dull moment. And as an entrepreneur, as co-founder and handling a startup, it comes with so many different challenges. And that's, I feel like, what makes it addicting. And you get a little taste of success and you just kind of, want that to grow and multiply.
Is he already testing like ad campaigns for pre-orders, or like how has that been like so far, pre-launch?
We were debating doing our pre-orders, and, ultimately with our first run, we didn't want to do it. We were like, we're going to hit everything really hard as soon as we launch. And it was definitely something that we played with, though. I don't think that it would have massively hurt us. It just wasn't the style that we wanted to push for. Your first run is never that big, direct to consumer goods. It's such an interesting one. It's also different, but we just really knew that we could capture our audience without doing a pre-order. And because our first run isn't gigantic, we wanted to make sure that we really had a cool handle on it, and then our ability to just kind of, flow to the next inventory run would be worthwhile on our end to keep it private until it's launched.
For sure. So obviously now we're about halfway into 2024. So for this year to be successful for you, like what are some of your biggest goals for this, for 24? For
HIPPIE WATER, a giant launch. We are throwing everything at it. It's going to be really exciting. We want, of course, for that launch to be as successful as possible. We've got a lot of awesome people behind us, supporting us, because again, of the space that we're in, we haven't been able to get a lot of VC funds because a lot of them can't invest in vices. And so we've had some incredible angel investors, and because we were also in our pre-seed round, pre-products, it's a little challenging. So we have a lot of people waiting for us to launch this product. And we've got, a lot of strategies in place for the next round. And a lot of cool connections that I've been able to make in the past are now coming into fruition. So we're just kind of lining everything up, and our first goal, our first step is a successful launch. And then we are going to just kind of double and triple from there as far as, what we're throwing at it. I wish I could be more specific.
When is your launch date?
Our launch date.
That? Yeah.
So the first taste of Hippie Water will be out in Bon Jovi's bar on the 30th, which is in Nashville, by the way, is on Broadway. Shaq will be playing, which will be really fun. DJ Diesel. That'll be the first taste out there, but July 1st will be our D2C launch on our website.
Awesome. So obviously now many companies use high-level technology like AI. So are you guys currently using AI? And if not, where do you think that maybe it could add value for you?
I think we're always open to it. It's one of those things where it's the future. It's nothing to be scared of. It's just all about how you utilize it. And that excites us. I know Alex is really into that. He was in a tech company forever. And so that side of the industry just fascinates him, and we will utilize it as much as possible. Definitely embedding things and making everything as user-friendly as possible on the website. He would chew your ear off about that. I'm excited for all the things that he has planned. So, the short answer is yes, we will be utilizing it. It'll be like a slow progression, but he's got a lot of ideas up his sleeve on that side. I think you're honestly kind of silly to not.
For sure. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you decided to launch this brand, Hippie Water?
We've bootstrapped it, which has been really, really great. We, up until very recently, had only spent $15,000 building this product. And that is purely just relationships. Our food scientist, so our co-founder, Taylor, she got our SKUs, our flavors for free, which is unheard of. So instead of spending $75,000 to $100,000, dollars a SKU, we utilized her relationships and got an incredible product for essentially zero. And Alex built our website, and he is just so incredible on that side. Everything that we could do ourselves, we did. And I don't want you to think that we sacrificed quality. That was definitely not something that we were interested in, but we really, really did do as best as we could with what we had. And then came our legal fees. And it's one of those things where our legal fees have cost us more than any other part of our industry or our business, which is one of those. I wouldn't say I would do it differently over again. I think I would just try, and those are the things that you wish you knew before going in. That sticker shock, However, it's one of those things where you spend that money and you're saving, millions, if not billions of dollars later on, and just, God forbid you get sued. All of those fun things that come along. But yeah, I think it's like I'm so proud of us. There's not much that I would do differently. I think it's just, it's just finding your way and, learning how to value your business, learning who to talk to. I think all four of us have grown in that way in a very short period of time, where I feel like just learning to communicate. As we all know, fundraising is extremely difficult, and it's something that I had never done before. So for me, learning how to be a CEO, learning a crash course in about 3 months of how to actually understand what people are telling me, acronyms that I am like studying like I'm in school again, So I think it's more just about understanding that, like, I don't feel like I thought that anything was going to come easy, but understanding that there is a process, and not being afraid to ask questions, not being afraid to really utilize the people in your life that have experience in areas. I think there's a lot of hesitancy around asking for favors or asking people's opinions. And I would say, I would hope if I did this all over again, that I would go to people quicker.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing. And I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? we've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
The legal fees are a good one. I haven't heard that. I mean, but it makes sense considering that you're in the space that you're in.
Right.
It's something that you really don't want to mess around with.
No, you definitely don't want to mess around with any of the legal side in cannabis, and you want to make everything above board. You know, part of our message is making sure that the stigmas are starting to fade away, and God forbid we miss something on the law side. That would just be devastating for us. So yeah, I think it's a lot of it's really making sure that you cross your or check your bases and just make sure that everything is the way that it's supposed to be from the ground up. And that's hard if it's the first time that you've done it, and it's all a learning curve, and it makes me excited for the next thing too. Like, I am fully invested in Hippie Water, but I also have that bug of wanting to start things and build things and invest more and you know, go into different sides of the business. So I have a lot that I want to do, and now I'm noting all of those things that I should have done sooner or quicker, and you just kind of go from there and hope you remember next time.
For sure. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for Hippie Water?
Well, we want to be one of the top 3 cannabis beverages on the market. That is our goal. And we really do think that we can achieve it. And so I would love to be at that spot next year when I speak to you next year. That is ideal. Is we want to be a direct competitor to the top brands in the industry. And I think, you know, it's still small enough where that's possible. If you make a big enough splash this early on, we've had now cannabis drinks that have paved the way, and in that way have shown us what not to do as well as what to do. And I think there's a spot in which we fit, and the goal is to, get there as quick as possible.
Awesome. And good luck. And we're rooting for you. So if somebody watching us wanted to reach out, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, absolutely. So hippiewater.com is our website. You can find out everything. I walk you through a lot of stuff on that website, some pretty cool tech on the website. Taylor, our food scientist, also does in our FAQs. We are very open with everything that we've done, and not only our quality, but on the education side, what's in it, why things are in it, why we chose to not put other things in it. You know, we want this to be something that everybody feels really confident in. And so we are an open book in a lot of ways. So I would love for people to go on the site and ask questions, and email us at sayhi@hippiewater.com. But my social is Sasha Pieterse, and my Hippie Water is our social site on Instagram. So find us. We love to answer comments and just kind of be there for you. And I would love to hear from anybody who has questions.
Awesome. Well, Sasha, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Chat to you next year.
Yeah, exactly. See ya.
Bye.